Gotta love it. Man, another week has gone by. I am thankful. I am so excited about today's show because it gives me a chance to, highlight our youth. Wow, and when they're doing some phenomenal things, you can't help but want to put them in the spotlight. So this is something I'm coming up with. It just came to me today, y'all. Let's go. Rolling with Ramsey's Youth Spotlight. So I want everybody out there to remember, if you have a youth that has done something remarkable, you want me to get them on Rolling with Ramsey so we can put them in the spotlight and shine a bright light on what they have done so that the world can see and put it on the record right here and what's going on, some of the things that they may have been overcoming and adversity that they have. Just major happenings, y'all, because guess what? They are our future. They're going to be taking care of us one day. And we have to make sure that we let them know that we are proud of them, we love them, and that we're going to support them and that we've got their back. Oh, man, you got to love it. So, like I said, another week has passed. I am thankful and blessed to be here. And today's going to be a good show because it's touching for me and it touches me in a number of ways. I remember always being in awe of my mother because my mother, may she rest in peace, Dr. Gloria B. Ramsey, hands down, smartest woman I've ever known. She attended Bennett College at 14 and a half. So she was the youngest, I believe, still to this date, to attend Bennett College at 14 and a half. She wasn't even quite 15 years old yet when she started there. And that in itself, several master's degrees, 2 undergraduate degrees, PhD. I mean, my mom, phenomenal woman, very intelligent, very smart. People used to ask me all the time, gosh, she was always in school. But my mom loved knowledge. She loved absorbing knowledge like a sponge. And the young lady that we are highlighting today that I'm going to be talking to, not only did she, just absorb knowledge like a sponge, she can give it back. Being able to give it back in such a manner that where things are just going well for you, it is wonderful. Not only that, being able to do it against all odds, that's another thing. So that being said, like I do every week when I bring someone in, y'all work with me. I'm going to bring this young lady in because there's no need of me holding back. And for all of y'all that are tuning in and you all are watching today, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the comment section. We'll get to them. We'll make sure that they get answered. Hold on, y'all. Let me bring Miss Emory Pruitt. I want everybody to know we done got her straight. She's on camera right now. This young lady is in the Rolling with Ramsey's Youth Spotlight. Hey, phenomenal young queen I've got here today who has finished high school in a matter of 7 months, been accepted to Clark Atlanta University at the age of 15, currently taking classes, exams already. Miss Emory Pruitt, you are officially doing what?
Rolling with Ramsey.
And you know it. That's what's up. Hey, Emory, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Doing fine.
Oh, gotta love it. I gotta love it. So first of all, thank you for allowing me to shine the spotlight, no pun intended, on your story. Wow, I really appreciate it. That means the world to me because a lot of times I know that our youth and people go through things and we don't give them a chance to, when they've triumphed and come out on the other side, to be able to tell their story. And yours is a pretty unique story because the first time I spoke to you, I was even a little confused. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to put the timeline together in my head, y'all. And I was confused. I said, wait, hold up. Let me talk to you. Put your mama back on the phone. Let me make sure I got this right. And so once we figured it out, I was honestly, I was left speechless. I really was. Because, first of all, I know how I was in school and in high school. I could not imagine doing 4 years of high school in 7 months. I'm just not that smart. I needed some time to let it marinate each year and move on to the next year. But really quick, let me tell you guys, and we'll let Emory tell her story, but let me make sure that I get it right. So Emory, you were having some troubles in middle school, and having some trouble in your middle school, being some racial trouble, hearing the N-word, not having teachers have your back, being accused of cheating and things like that. It's almost like you were just having your educational career sabotaged. You kept going in spite of, and then when you got ready to start your freshman year of high school, it seemed like they had put the word out. Hey, she's coming. Keep it going on her and keep beating her down in a sense. And you were having some problems with her in high school when your mom said enough is enough, took you out, started doing the homeschooling thing. And what's the name of the school?
Penn Foster
Homeschooling. And it's a self-paced program, correct?
Yes, sir.
So self-paced program where she could just move at her own pace. And basically, like I said in the promo, in the midst of the storm, Emory said, I am the storm and watch me work. This young lady completed 4 years of high school in 7 months. Not only did she finish it in 7 months, she got accepted to Clark Atlanta University, where she is currently enrolled in taking classes for her degree. Emory, wow, unbelievable. So let's go back to let's just kind of go back to the beginning. Tell me, young lady, what's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is science. It's science.
You like science, biology, chemistry, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So science, it's funny because my mother taught biology. One of my older sisters has her degree in biology. So that's unique right there in itself. So your favorite subject is science. So when did you know that you just loved school?
I realized that I loved school back in, elementary school, probably 4th grade. I realized I just loved going to school, loved learning new things. And as time went on, I just began to enjoy it more and more and more. So
let me make sure I get this straight. I'm probably guessing here. You weren't just a A-B honor roll. You was probably A honor roll all the way.
I was an A and B, and then there was times I made all A's, and yeah, A and B, all A's.
Okay, all right. So no problem with getting your homework done and things like that. You just love learning. So I take it you like to read.
Yeah, I do like to read.
Okay. So tell me, what's the last book you read?
The last book I read was about Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
And her story.
Okay. Did you see the movie?
Mm-hmm. I did watch the movie.
Movie was pretty good. Yeah, movie was good. Did you know that the actress that played her is British?
No, I didn't.
You should Google that actress. It's crazy to watch. It's always funny to me to watch a British actor or actress talk in their native language, English, of course, but just talk with their British accent, and it be normal for them, and to watch them play us. I think the role reversal is crazy. Michi, I see you. You're rolling with Ramsey. Your mama's watching. Miss Karen Pruitt, I see you're an awesome mom. You're rolling with Ramsey today. So tell me, So tell me, when you first, I guess, encountered some troubles. What grade were you in when you first encountered some troubles?
When I first encountered some troubles, I was in fifth grade.
So you were in the fifth grade. Michi wanted me to ask, how old is she? Michi, she is still 15 years old, believe it or not. Wow, 15 years young. So you were in fifth grade, and so being in the fifth grade, running into some trouble. You come home, you tell your mom what happened.
I told my mom, and she was upset about it. And I didn't really realize at the time, what was really going on, all about racism. So I didn't really pick up on it. So as time went on, she tried to, press charges, but nobody would take the case. So I had to keep going to school there. And that's kind of what happened when I was in
fifth grade. So what happened in fifth grade? Tell me what happened in this very first experience.
In fifth grade, I had a teacher to call me a monkey.
Oh, wow.
So that was, me in my little fifth grade mind. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So I just, waited and got home, and I told my mom. And then I remember her being really upset and going up there, and she tried to press charges multiple times, but nobody would take the case.
Wow. That is crazy. So, you know what? That's fifth grade. So, my story is kind of unique because when I was in public school, in elementary school, my mom taught at the neighboring high school right next door. So I remember I would get out of elementary school and I would walk to my mother's classroom at the time, sit down, do my work, all that good stuff. But I'll never forget, real quick story. So in third grade, for me, they had these 3 reading groups. And then the state bird in North Carolina is the cardinal. So the best reading group was the cardinal. The middle group was like the bluebirds. And then the lowest group was, I want to say it wasn't a blackbird, but it was like the ravens or something like that. It was kind of crazy. So at the end of the day, the teacher's setting up the groups. Well, I got put in the lowest reading group. And I kept asking the teacher, well, why am I in this group? And she would never, give me an answer and switch me. And I came to my mother's classroom really upset. And I told my mom what had happened and everything. And she said, don't worry, baby, I'll take care of it. Needless to say, my mother, I'm my mother's son, and she's not going to let anything happen to her little boy. And so she shows up at my third grade classroom, and she's got her hand behind her back, and she asked to speak with the teacher. And she says, let me show you something. She said, here's today's Wall Street Journal. You pick an article. So she had the teacher pick an article in the Wall Street Journal, and then she called me over, and she had me stand up in front of the class and read it. And when I was done reading the article, she looked at her and said, so tell me, why is he in the lowest reading group once again? Needless to say, they stepped out in the hall. The next day, guess what they did? There were no more reading groups. As opposed to putting me in the higher group, they just took out the groups altogether. So I've had and I've seen things like this take place before. And what makes me most proud of your situation is that your mother has been right there by your side to be your champion, fight for you every step of the way. And that happened in fifth grade. And let me tell you something. I know that people think that we should be able to overcome, do this, that, and the other, but perception can be reality. Hear what I'm telling you. Perception is reality. And if you don't think that educators and people don't talk, they talk. They do, about good and bad students. So that was in fifth grade. We move on. You get to middle school. So in Tennessee, does middle school start in the sixth grade?
Mm-hmm.
So middle school is sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. So just like North Carolina. So my understanding is that throughout your middle school years, you continue to have some problems.
Yeah.
In every grade. And so tell me about some of those. What took place?
Well, in middle school, I want to say, I can't remember what grade it was, but I remember having a teacher and she would separate the classes. So she would have the class, white people or light people on one side and dark people on the other side. And
Wow.
she'll, yeah, but I didn't really, too young. I really didn't pick up on it too much. So when she would talk to the white side a certain way, and then she would turn to the black side and talk to us a certain way. And she'll give us different work. Like
Wow.
white people would have like a one sheet of paper, one worksheet to do, and the black people have a whole packet to do. And it'll be real crazy.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
That obvious. Instead of being covert, it was just that obvious. That's phenomenal that it would even just go down like that. That's just unbelievable. A lot of times I will say this. I'm sure you've had friends who just kind of put their head down and said it was no big deal, and just kind of went with the flow. And you strike me as a person who's like, no, I'm going against the grain. I'm not standing for this. So I can imagine you sitting there like, what's really going on? I remember, again, being in school. And it's funny, in my generation, it was done a little bit more covert. Back when I was in school, they had what's called GT. If you were gifted and talented, they had gifted and talented classes or whatever. And I remember during science class being given these little plastic microscopes that you had to use the light to reflect to be able to see and so forth. But they had regular ones that you could plug up and so forth back there. And I asked the teacher one day, and I grabbed one. She was like, oh, you can't use those. I was like, why? I said, this isn't even like the microscope that I have at home. What do you mean you have a microscope at home? I have a microscope at home, a very nice one that is much better than this one. Okay, Chuck, you don't have to tell stories. Okay, I'm going to have to bring it in the next day because you're not going to sit up here and tell me that I'm lying. And so I understand your plight when it comes to that, or being able to fight to that. But let's just get into the heart of the matter. So it was probably going on your 8th grade year when you ran into the teacher, when you had problems with the N-word.
Yeah. So my 8th grade year, I would have students call me the N-word at my locker, and they'll just like walk past me and, say the N-word. And, my mom, she always told me, it's like, just come home, tell me. So, I would come home and I would tell her. And then, again, she'll go up to the school. Nobody would want to take the case because it's like here, what it's like, they don't want to go against their own color. So that's kind of what it's like here. So I end up I wouldn't say I told another teacher, but it came up in a conversation. I said, you don't know what it's like to be called the N-word every day. And he said, well, maybe you did something to make them call you the N-word. And that just blew my mind when he said that.
That's devastating. That is crazy because I'm telling you right now, you can never do anything deserving to be able to be called that. It is such a derogatory and degrading term. For the teacher to take that stance is ridiculous. I applaud you once again for being able to continue to fight through it. It sounds like to me that the only thing that you did was be a smart and a great student, which you would think that a school would be like, you know what, we're going to put this young lady up on a pedestal, make sure that she's rewarded for her efforts, that she's doing so well and so forth. But they did not want to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they perceived and saw you as a threat. And that is unfortunate because whereas you could have been an ally to many students to be able to help other folks do well and share your knowledge with them, they just refused to give you that opportunity to do so. So I can only imagine how you felt when your mom said, you know what, enough is enough. So how did the transition happen for you? Was it like your mom just said, that's it, we're done? Or did y'all talk about it at first and say, hey, do you want to stick it out? How did that go?
Well, in my 8th grade year, I actually did homeschool then.
Okay.
So I did homeschool then, everything was great. I was happy, passed my 8th grade. So went into high school, all pumped, ready to, be in high school. But then it continued and continued. I had teachers that will literally throw my homework in the trash, rip it up, just stuff like that. And then, they'll say that I'm cheating on tests when they're like standing literally right in front of me. It'll be real crazy. And then, I'll come home and I'll tell my mom. And she said, well, enough's enough. Like, do you want to go back or do you want to do homeschool? So I did homeschool, and then that's how the transition happened.
All right. So before we get into this turbo machine that you kicked on, before we get in this turbo machine that you kicked on, what were your friends saying? Because I know you got friends, you got girlfriends, people you hang out with. What were your friends saying though?
Well, some of my friends that were of color was just like, that's crazy. They really didn't say too much about it. But my friends that were not of color, they will be the ones that will, be more angrier. And it kind of, set me off a little bit because I was like, well, you should want to defend your color. But they didn't want to get in trouble, or they didn't want to start causing problems for themselves. So they was afraid to say anything.
Wow. Star, I see you. You're rolling with Ramsey. That's my battle buddy right there, man. I served with her in the Army. She is phenomenal. I see you, Star. Major Stewart. Listen, that is insane. So you're telling me, and so no, let me tell you something. And Star, just seeing her come on board, wow, it almost makes me want to cry. Seeing her come on board. Let me tell you something. You're gonna have friends, which you already know, who are gonna smile in your face, and behind your back, they're gonna be your worst enemy. And guess what? A lot of times they're gonna look just like you. Star, I know you're watching. Y'all remember, I'm gonna call his name. Star, you remember how Franklin did me in officers candidate school? I was a president in my class in officers candidate school. I was making things happen. Things was going smooth, but I started having all these problems. And they had my sisters in my squad, my fellow soldiers, my sisters in my squad had to pull me in a room one day. And they said, Ramsey, the person who's causing you all these problems is the one standing right next to you, Franklin. And it was crazy to me because guess what? They did. I did not see it. I had to learn that lesson again. Yes, I was an adult. Yes, I was in the military, but I had kind of gotten comfortable and I had gotten a little naive, and I wanted to believe just like you. So it happens to adults too. I wanted to believe like there's no way that he would be the one killing me. And Star just said #truth. They pulled me to the room and they was like, yo, we got your back, but we need you to know who is doing this. And sure enough, that's who it was. And but I had good friends who were right there with me, willing to make me, hey, we got to make you wake up. This is what's really going on. It ain't what you think it is. And so sometimes I will tell you that people are people. People are human. Black, white, Asian, Spanish, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. People will not want to see you succeed just because. My mom always told me something so profound. She said, if you know you're dealing with a rattlesnake, there's no reason for you to get bit. What's that old saying? Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies even closer. So that's unfortunate. But I like what you said, though, because with everything that's going on, you still said you had some white friends who were just as angry, if not more angrier at what you were dealing with. And that's a good thing, because you need to know that, guess what? Not all white people are bad, in spite of. Oh, man. So we're going to get off of that. Let's kick it into high gear. Let's kick on this turbo machine. So you're in Penn Foster. You're homeschooling, and it is self-paced. At what point, Emory, did you decide to be a track star? And what I mean by that is because you finished 4 years of high school in 7 months. And according to your mom, you was taking tests all kinds of the night and sometimes in the morning, to the point that where the school was like, well, if she takes one more exam, we are going to lock up her account to make her slow down. So tell me about that.
Well, so in the beginning of Penn Foster, I was going, I was taking one exam, two exams, going the actual pace. And then my grandmother told me, she was like, if you can go all the way, why won't you go all the way? So that's when I started taking 8 exams a night, 6 exams. And then eventually, I got down to the end. I was like, this is my last exam. Once I do this one, I'm done. So I did that one. I was done. I was crying. And I had officially graduated Penn Foster.
Wow. So you got some wise wisdom, some wise knowledge passed on by your grandmother, who said, hey, let's just do it. Don't stop. Just keep going. Oh, so how'd you feel?
It felt good. I was just like, wow, like I'm still 15. I'm done with high school. So I was like, well, let me just calm down. So it got even more emotional when I actually got my diploma in my hand. And I was just like, yes, I got my diploma. And then I was like, well, I want to go to Clark. And then when I got my Clark letter, everything started happening so fast. So you graduate. So let me back up a little bit. So first of all, you have a brother, correct? Yes, Elijah Pruitt.
And where's he going to school?
He's going to Clark.
So is this his first year too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd have been hot. I'd have been happy, but I'd have been hot at the same time. I know he was excited for you as well, right?
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, you caught up to me? That's how he's But, oh, wow. So you want to go to Clark like your brother. So you finally apply, right? You apply to Clark? Mm-hmm. And did you apply to some other schools as well?
I applied to, what I did was I went through the Common app. So when you do an application, it sends it all to, HBCUs.
Okay,
so
okay.
Clark was my number one. So I got into Clark. But after, the news started coming out that I was 15, there was some other colleges like TSU, kind of wanting me to come to their school. But I already had, chose Clark. So
you wanted to go to Clark. Boom, you apply to all these schools. Hey, Sally, you're rolling with Ramsey. Sally Smith said, I'm finally on Facebook. Okay. So you apply, you get accepted. Bam, everybody's cheering, you're happy. And then Harvard comes a knocking.
Howard came. And then I don't know for sure, but Duke was trying to, kind of send me some stuff. But okay. Howard came, and I kind of said I already was going to Clark.
Right.
So,
you'd already
some other schools kind of came.
But you already chosen your school. You're at Clark. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom, boom. You already started. So what are you majoring in?
Criminal justice.
So majoring in criminal justice. She said, I'm coming back for you folks. It had something to do with me. I got something for you. Oh, man, that is awesome. So I just got to ask, because I know for myself how things can be. Let me tell you some things that some other folks are saying. So my good friend Star, she wants me to tell you, she says, everyone you know may not be meant for your entire journey. She said there's a reason versus a season. And she told me to tell you, awesome sauce, congratulations. And that is so true. There may be a reason for a season. And so you have to understand that these are very unique times with COVID-19 that's going on, the coronavirus. You still attending school. So you're already enrolled, already taking classes. So how many credits are you taking this semester?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
So you're not sure. So if you're full time, you got to be at least, if I remember, I think it's either 12 to 15 credit hours to be considered full time. But how are the classes going though? You like them or?
I do like them. It's a little hard than I anticipated, but I do like them. And
Okay.
it's a lot of reading, a lot of, big words and stuff, but I do like them.
Okay. That's a. Remember when we were talking yesterday? Like I said, you're gonna have to listen. It's gonna be like sometimes it's gonna be like reading sawdust. Hey, if they say the test is gonna be from chapter 5 to 10, you better read chapters 5 to 10, whether they talk about it in a lecture or not, whether it's online or not. I'm telling you, those questions will be on there. Um, that is exciting. So, criminal justice. What do you have aspirations of doing in the future? What do you want to do?
I want to be a criminal defense attorney.
Okay, okay. Criminal defense attorney. Your mom said, I'm pretty sure that 17 is to my answer. She's taking 17 credit hours. Okay, so like you just trying to be a speed demon. You trying to finish Clark fast too. You see, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna get this master's and get something else and be right in law school. I'm gonna be looking for you. You want to be a criminal defense attorney? Why?
Hmm.
Why criminal? Why criminal law?
I just want to help people of my color. I watched so much stuff from, back in the past where people are being falsely accused, and it's even more common now. Black people are going to jail for things that they didn't do. They're going to prison for things they didn't do. And I just want to help out people of my color and people that are not my color.
That's what's up. You got to be able to reach back. We've got to be able to take care of one another, and that's a beautiful thing that you want to do that. I applaud you in that, and make sure that you keep pressing forward to the mark. So, has your brother came in and asked you for some help on any of his classes yet? Hey, listen, I'm just Elijah. I was just playing. Back. Don't come looking for me. Don't come looking for me. I'm just playing. Uh, that is so cool though that y'all attending school together, and that's a beautiful thing that you're at the same university. Um, Panthers. Now, I will be remiss if I can't give a shout out to my closest my HBCU, North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride. I got to just put that out there. My mom went there, my sisters went there, so it's a little bit of that in me. Sally Smith said, "We need great young people like you. The fact that you're so focused is a beautiful thing, but you can't do school all the time." Emory, what do you like to do?
Mm, I like to go to the movies. I like to listen to music. I like to dance.
You like to dance? You like to listen to music? Who do you like to listen to music-wise? Who's your favorite artist right now?
Cardi,
Who?
Cardi B.
Cardi B? You like Cardi B? Well, check this out. Today, when you were being introduced, and you'll see it once we finish all the final edits for the show, today's featured song is by an artist by the name of Noir. And the song that is that is being played today is called Word Up. I think you'll love it. I'll make sure that you get a copy of it because it is a pretty dope song. It is produced by my little brother from another mother, the artist known as QB Smith, and it is off the chain. It is definitely a hype song. So it is the single off her upcoming album that is coming out. So it's Noir. The song is called Word Up. Yeah, you are definitely in that category. So when you hear the song, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, more for sure. You're going to definitely say that's me. Oh man. So tell me, you were just telling me about how you want to continue to give back. So some of the volunteer work that you've done, what have you been doing?
I worked at the homeless shelter, animal shelter, domestic violence shelter. I've helped rebuild a park in Nashville. I've done recycle type of, volunteering, just picking up trash.
Yeah.
Um, I've donated food,
So
cans.
just a little bit just a little bit of everything. You just got your hands in a little bit of everything and so forth, and that's good. For me, I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, you've got the support of us, but the fact that you are so focused and that you're moving across different things and you're touching different things, it gives you an opportunity to expand your mind and see different things. Because guess what? Even me having you on here today, I'm hoping that a young person sees your story and hears it, and it motivates them to say, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it too. And that's the main thing that we want to highlight for today. We want people to know, our youth to know that we've got their back. They have other options. They do not have to stay in a particular situation, even though because it's not conducive for them. And that's where we have to make sure as parents and as adults that we are engaged. And that's on us to do, to make sure that you all have the opportunity to do the work. And that's what's going on. And so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So it's my understanding that you guys are moving to the ATL.
Yep.
She's like, I'm ready to go like right now. She's like, I'm ready to ride out. Come on, look. Can I get my bag? Can I go right now? Oh, man. So has Clark said anything about, with the COVID situation, of the campus opening back up soon, anytime soon?
Not yet. It's still playing by ear. So
still playing it by ear. Everything. So at this point, everything is still online. And so that's wow. That's what's up. Let's see. Sally Smith said, I'm glad to know how to advocate for yourself. She said most students do not. That is very true. You definitely got to be able to speak up for yourself, and do it in such a manner. But Sally, I'll say this. It's not just a matter of having our students be able to speak up. We've got to give them the support they need and the confidence to make sure that when they come tell us things, that we believe them, that we explore them, at least investigate, do our own due diligence. And then when we find things to be not the right way or not be good for them, that we definitely do govern ourselves accordingly to do what we need to do. So you like to do simple stuff. You say you like Cardi B. That's pretty cool. Wow, go to the movies. So that means you still sitting at home just like the rest of us, because you ain't been to the movies and Lord knows when, because none of us have. So I want to make sure that you wear your mask when you do go out. So wow, you know, I don't know what to say. You've done it all. You finished high school in 7 months. You enrolled, got accepted to Clark Atlanta University. And now you're a criminal justice major and you're doing your thing. Do you miss not being on campus? You wish you were there?
Yes, I wish I was on campus.
Oh, wow. I mean, so that is an experience all in itself. We're going to pray that we all vote for the right person, all those eligible to vote. Yes, I support Joe Biden so that we can try to get a handle on what's going on here in the United States of America. And hopefully a real tested, all the qualifications that need to be handled vaccine will come on board, and that we will get a handle on this virus so we can get back to some sense of normalcy, because I believe that having a vaccine is what it's going to take. So, Emory, if you could give some advice to students out there who may be experiencing what you've experienced, what would you tell them?
To never give up. They're going to tell you that you can't do it. You can do it. And I do suggest, if you want to switch over to homeschool and show them and prove them wrong.
Right. Show them and prove them wrong. She said, did she say she's motivated or sees Cardi B as a role model? She didn't say that, Mark. She didn't say that she sees Cardi B as a role model. She just said that she likes her music. That's all she said. I asked her who she liked in music. No, she's motivated. So no, Mark, that's not what she said. You're still rolling with Ramsey though. Yeah. So let's make sure that we put that out there. I asked her who she liked when it came to music, and she likes Cardi B. Which there's nothing wrong with that. That she likes her music. She didn't say she sees her as a role model. She's got a great, phenomenal role model sitting in the other room, probably about less than 200 feet from her. Miss Karen Pruitt, her mother, has done a fantastic job And she knows that because she's supporting her and making sure that she's able to do all the things that she wants to do. But yeah, that's phenomenal to be able to tell someone, yes, you can do it, prove them wrong, because you have definitely done that. And that in itself is a beautiful thing. Now, I hate to kind of go back to something negative, but it's been brought to my attention that even though you're no longer there, you're not attending high school there, you've gone on to Penn Foster, graduated, been accepted to college, going to college, and I'm sure they did a little spotlight there on you in the community to highlight you and everything. You still got haters coming at you, sending you crazy messages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. So, that's borderline harassment at that point. Borderline harassment at that point. Still, so you got people still reaching out, sending you messages that are negative. I mean, I'm sure you're just ignoring them for legal purposes. I would save them because people are crazy today. But that is ridiculous. And how many did they send?
5,000.
Jeez, are you kidding me? 5,000 messages to say the N-word, crazy stuff. Just that is ridiculous. So y'all, I want my people out there to think about this. She's been long gone from the school, graduated, in college, doing her thing, and still getting harassed for being a phenomenal student, a phenomenal queen, black girl magic, all of that. You're doing all that. And guess what? When you're doing something positive, when you're excelling, doing something that other people can't do, a prime example of them not being able to accept the fact that, guess what? You are doing this in spite of them. They just don't like it. They just don't like it. That is ridiculous. I served in the military for 23 years, and I shared this with your mother. I flew Black Hawk helicopters for almost 13 years of my career. Over half of my career, I flew Black Hawk helicopters. And I was on at Fort Hood, Texas. I was on what's called the 1st Cavalry Division Honor Guard. And it was really cool. You got to walk around like you were the big man on campus. We got to wear Stetson cowboy hats all the time. Boom, 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 this, that, and the other. And it was crazy. So we were doing a memorial service over at the airfield. And I remember walking around a Black Hawk helicopter before the service started. And a pilot was out there. And I said, and warrant officers are called chief. And I was like, hey, chief, so what does it take to go to flight school, to be able to do this? And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. You could never do it. And I literally did him like this. I was like, you talking to me? My mama told me I can do and be anything I want to be. And when I tell you, I was 38 hot. I was fish grease, chicken grease, Crisco hot. I was mad. I did that whole ceremony furious with anger. And I just knew at that point in time, I'm going to prove this person wrong. Now, as a little boy, that was one of the things I always said I wanted to be, was a pilot. But when I went through that, oh no, not me. You got the wrong one, bruh. You got the wrong one. And not only did I go on to be a pilot, I became a commissioned officer along the way and do this, that, and the other. But you can do and be anything that you want to be. And I'm proud of you for being able to have the maturity to be able to do what you're doing. Star said, yeah, little did he know. You got that right, Star. Come on now. And the funny thing about that story, Star, is I'll say almost about 8 years later when we were in Iraq, that person got in my helicopter and had to ride with me. I'll never forget him. And I just looked back at him, and I don't think he remembered who I was, but I knew who he was, because there's certain things that you experience in your life that you go through, and people that you will never forget. You will never forget. They will always sit with you, and they will be the fuel for you to do what you need to do. And I know that you've got that fuel. And man, I'm telling you, I hope I never need your services, because I know that you're going to be a phenomenal attorney. I want to say it right now. We are proud of you. We got your back. Someone stated earlier, Karen, you saw it. Someone wanted to know, it was Michi who was asking. Michi was asking. She wanted to donate. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to look at it. So Michi, my good friend, Demetria Brown, she says, do you have a college fund? Can we donate money to her? Post it for people to donate. And so that's all I need to say. So Mom, once you get that set up, you just let me know so that we can make sure that we go back. I'll put it out there. We'll make sure that people know so that we can, 10s, 20s, 5s, 50s, 100s, all that stuff adds up when it comes to books and you name it, because eventually you're going to be back on campus. Hey, we all want to support you. We want to see you do well. I am proud of you. Thank you for allowing me to put a spotlight on you today. Tell your brother I said what's up. I know when he watches this, he probably thinks I'm a hater, but I'm not. I'm not. Elijah, we got your back too. And so we're proud of both of you all, but your story is remarkable. I'm proud of you. We're going to be keeping an eye on you. We're going to check back in later. So we're going to follow this up. We're going to see how things go and see how school is going for you. I hope they get COVID worked out so that you can get the full Black college experience, because you definitely want people to be able to absorb that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's nothing like being on an HBCU. I'm just telling you, it's just a good thing. And after everything that you've gone through, you want to be surrounded by folks that look like you, and you want to be able to experience that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You want to feel that love. So thanks for coming on today. God loves you, and so do I, and there's nothing you can do about it. And we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon.
Do I end it?
I got you. Don't worry. All right, guys. And so, man, that is a phenomenal story. It really is. A young lady doing what she's doing. You just gotta. I mean, it just brings me so much joy to be able to have her on, tell her story. I can't imagine. I can't imagine the things that she went through, and to still be able to persevere. 4 years of high school in 7 months. 7. Hey. Man, look. If I take my hat off, I say my hat's off to you, Emory, really, because that in itself is a blessing. And then to be accepted to the university, Clark Atlanta University, where you want to go to school, is awesome. And you're majoring in criminal justice, and we wish you all the success. And like I said before, we're going to be checking back in to see how you're progressing through school, because we want to just track this and see how your college career is going. But here's something to think about, guys. It's 2020. It's 2020. And this young lady still had to deal with being called the N-word in school, being made a target because she's smart. 2020. Teachers tearing up homework, sabotaging her, telling her that she's cheating on tests when they're literally standing right in front of her. Why? That's not cool. It is clear that our country is in need of a true healing. Things like this are still going on. And unfortunately, people are more emboldened right now because of the climate of our country and where we're at today. And Emory is a prime example of all this stuff that's happening does affect our youth. It trickles all the way down to our kids. Our kids. Now, guess what? Emory has a mother who is able to support her, have her back, make sure that she can do what she needs to do. What about our kids whose parents are still working 2 and 3 jobs and they can't get away because they're trying to juggle things and keep things afloat? Our kids who don't have all that support, what are they doing? They're having to deal with it. They're having to deal with it. So if you got any young people out there who are watching and seeing this, Emory Pruitt is an example. You can do it. Don't give up. Fight the good fight in spite of what you're being told if it's negative. And more importantly, we got your back. We got your back. We got your back. Man, you guys, this has been another phenomenal week. You've been rolling with Ramsey. Like I said earlier, this week's featured song is by the artist Noir, and the song is called Word Up. Man, hey, I'm telling you, it's fire. It's a single off her upcoming album. Man, produced by the artist, my little brother from another mother, QB Smith. Phenomenal show today. Mad shout outs. Once again, got to give them a shout out every week. My editors edit my videos, edit your videos now. Joel and his team in the Philippines. QB Smith, my producer, on the audio side, and just all my friends who were able to tune in today, from Major Stewart, aka Star, Michi, Sally Smith, everybody, all you guys, thank you for rolling with Ramsey. Another week has gone by, and you know what? I just want to tell everybody I appreciate all of you for tuning in, watching. Remember, I need you all to follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page, and guess what? You're listening to the podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and drum roll, please, iHeartRadio. That's right. And you can find Rolling with Ramsey podcast on all those places. So please, if you got an iPhone, go to Apple Podcasts, find Rolling with Ramsey. Leave me a review and 5 stars. I need those 5 stars. Come on now, because we're growing. Hey, I'm thankful. I'm blessed. I will see you all next week. And once again, you have been Rolling with Ramsey. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Able bodies winning. Go to work a plantation. Stand up.